and crazy. It's not tribal. It's not religious. You said the reason that it's way more boring and way more complex the Nazis would suggest it's because they actually provide a benefit. I said, really? What's the benefit? You said, oh, I don't know. So you just claimed that without knowing anything. Then you went on I'mRight.com. Your chat helped you out and said, well, actually, they have a military installation. Here's the reason.
How the fuck he rebutted a rebuttal in his debate? He basically showing you not on my level. But since you think you are, let's get real. See, yesterday y'all see when he was with the black women, he was laid back, cool. He with somebody who got some intelligence and making him look like he don't got none. A lot of people are scared to debate Destiny because they don't know what they really talking about for real. And Destiny like to talk fast, like how people used to do when they trying to scan you out of some shit. You know, man. I mean, even soul got it. Like, man, did I just get jerked?
Reason why it matters why we're in Iraq. You told me the benefit that Israel provides to America is that they help us spy on Iran. Well, it would actually matter then why it's actually.
That's what the benefit of America get for help for giving money to Israel is helping America spy on. I mean, helping Israel to spy on Iraq. Or helping what? Man, I might have said that wrong, but yo,
A geostrategic necessity for us to spy on Iran. Iran is thousands and thousands of miles away from the United States, as is the
my bad, Iran.
Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. You said for a moment, you said, well, the IRGC operates internationally in America. And I said, really? And you said, oh, no, I mean, in the Middle East. And then you say, well, why are we in the Middle East? Well, that's not important at all. Actually, it is, because America has no business in Iraq. We had no business in Iraq in 1990. We had no business in Iraq.
Hell yeah, it's our business. We out there sending money, and the people's working like slaves for Israel. Yeah, we want to know where the money going to. Like what? So I can't question you. Oh, so you run shit. Got it. Not the white man. Oh, got it. Okay.
Iraq in 2003. We had no business in Iraq in 2011. It matters. Of course it matters. And here's why. My contention, of course, is that we were led to Iraq by Jewish Zionists. Jewish Zionists' number one enemy is Syria. Therefore, their number two enemy was Saddam Hussein. And the reason why is because of their northern border. In the 1980s, Israel invaded Lebanon, and a group called Hezbollah pushed them out. The history goes way, 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 way back. But basically, they are mortal enemies with the al-Assad family, with Hafez and Bashar al-Assad, and with Hezbollah, with Lebanon and Syria. It's about securing their northern border. In any case, they have said continuously over the last 40 years that their number one adversary they got to take out, the road to Damascus runs through Baghdad. They have to take out Iraq to take out Syria. So my contention is that we went to war with Iraq basically for the benefit of Syria. It follows, therefore.
Wait,
if you're hanging on, let me finish. It's very quick. It's very quick. It's super quick. And then you can reply. It follows then that if we're at war in Iraq because Jews pushed us into that war to benefit Israel, it's actually not a geostrategic benefit for us to be able to surveil Iran or to kill the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, because the only reason.
Right. Why y'all not fighting it by yourselves? That's what I'm wondering. If it's to protect y'all need to fight it yourselves. Y'all don't need United States for that. You're Israel. You should be able to beat them without aid. Something to think about.
reason the IRGC can kill our troops in Iraq is because we're in Iraq for Israel. So that's actually just a roundabout way of saying, well, they benefit us so that we can benefit them. They benefit us so we can kill their enemies when we're fighting their enemies in Iraq for them. It does us no good. We would have no beef with Iran besides the hostage situation from 40 years ago. But other than that, we'd have no beef with Iran, Iraq, or Syria if it wasn't for our support for Israel.
Okay. The problem is that I want to do a back and forth where I ask him a question, but if he rambles on like 40 minutes of bullshit history every time I ask him a question, it kind of
what he just spit was too much for his brain, or Destiny wasn't even paying attention. Destiny already checked out. Once he found out that he don't know about Israel, and Nick basically repeated back what he said. See, that's a rebuttal. In the debate world and rap battle world, they do that shit too. How to rebuttal motherfuckers remembering their own shit. Like, damn.
It's a book context, so
sure.
People
so I'm
understand.
curious, like when you say that the Israel is the one that dragged us into Iraq, can you elaborate that?
I can, yeah, very clearly. In 1996, they published a memo called the Clean Break Memo. Maybe you've heard of it. It's Douglas Pearl, David Feith, David Wormser. These guys all went into the Bush administration and created the Office of Special Plans in the Defense Office in the Department of Defense, which concocted this excuse for war in Iraq, this fabricated evidence about WMDs, this connection with the poisoning, and so on. And what they said, exactly, the anthrax. In the Clean Break Memo in 1996, all these, by the way, these guys were all Jewish Zionists. They all said it's about securing the realm of Israel, securing the northern border. We have to take out Saddam. We have to take out Syria. We have to take out Iran.
Why didn't we go to war with Syria or Iran then?
Oh, that's a great question. They tried to get us to war in Syria, if you remember. They fomented a Syrian civil war with ISIS, which was supported by both Israel and the United States.
Hold on. That's like 15 years later.
Yeah, because that was the plan. First Iraq, then Syria.
Bruh, chess game is not a checker game. Chess game can last for a week if you that cold. They move slow. They don't move when they think, because when somebody say, "Oh, they trying to take us to war with Iran or Iran." It happens years later, because they will plan their moves 40 years from now. It's a long game, player.
Wait. So did we go to the first Gulf War and the second Gulf War because of Jews, or just the second one?
Okay. Absolutely.
So
we went
the gassing of the Kurds and any of that, none of that mattered?
No, that's all ridiculous.
In Kuwait, that's all bullshit.
Well, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
In 1998, all these same guys, Wolfowitz and Abrams and all of them, Cohen, they all wrote a letter to Bill Clinton in 1998 before State of the Union and said, you got to address taking out Saddam. So they were talking about taking out Saddam for like 20 years. Then 9/11 happens and they go, oh, Saddam did 9/11. Oh, Saddam has WMD.
They basically 9/11 happened. They made 9/11 happen and blame it on some Muslims. And a lot of American people died, family members died. And when you get somebody in their feelings, they can't think straight. It's time to go to war. Yes, go to war.
Let's go in. Yeah, it's all excuses, Destiny.
Why didn't they just depose him after the first Gulf War then?
Are you so naive to think that like gassing the Kurds is the reason we went in? Do you really believe that?
I more so than 4 Jewish guys drafted up a plan to get us into an arbitrary war in the Middle East.
In other words,
Israel.
It's more about bullshit humanitarian nonsense than it is about like spies, money, warfare, and like that's really the crux of it. Is you have this naive worldview, like, well, the government said they're gassing the Kurds, yeah, just like Assad was gassing his own people, and it was fucking fake, and it was all white helmets with the UN down there, and it was the rebels using chemical attacks. No, there isn't, and they should go and investigate that.
Absolutely no evidence.
There isn't evidence.
There's not a single international community in the fucking world that would back up the claim.
Look how he started going off. He got real defensive Well, Nick said that. Look at Nick's face. Nick looking at him like, gotcha. That triggered you, huh? Hold on.
Evidence.
Okay,
There
let
is
me
not
ask this.
evidence.
Let me ask this. So, are you okay? So, Destiny, just so I can make sure I get your stance correct here, are you saying that we went to war with Iraq because of the gassing of the Kurds?
I think that, yeah, I think in the invasion of Kuwait, I think it was a really big deal for internationally why we felt like we had to step in and intervene.
With the Kurds being killed.
Yeah, and then the
which
chemical
Saddam
weapons
was
on the
behind.
Kurds.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so Saddam killing the Kurds in the northern part of Iraq is okay. What's your response to that?
We don't care about any of that, I guess.
I think that's ridiculous. I think
it's
that
way more likely that 4 Jews somehow.
Well, let me ask this, Nick.
Yeah.
Would you
but not enough to depose Saddam, just enough to invade and leave him.
let me finish.
Let's connect. Let's
You're
connect.
getting cooked, so
Would
he's
you
getting
say, Nick? Would you say that the gassing of the Kurds was a contributing factor, or you're saying it's not at all?
No, I don't think so at all. And here's why.
All right.
I think
so you don't think whatsoever it's not relevant whatsoever to the situation?
I think that is how they dress it up. I think that is basically
fair use. Fair use.
The United States foreign policy is that we come up with pretexts and excuses to do what we want to do anyway. Like, for example, and I'm not trying to just zoom out here, but I am trying to give examples.
You don't think that mattered either, right?
What I'm here's the big picture, Destiny, which is, I think what you're missing.
Okay.
Is that we give a lot of excuses. We said there were WMDs in Iraq. That's why we went to Iraq.
Second Gulf
There
War.
weren't any.
You're mixing the first and second one up.
No, I'm giving additional examples.
Well, why not just focus on the first Gulf War?
And here's
instead of
because
talking
you're
around
missing.
a lot of
Here's
random
why.
shit.
Because now you're interrupting, trying to derail.
Because you like to conflate a whole bunch of shit together.
No, because I'm making a point. No, because you're very naive and you think that the news media is telling you that.
You see how he trying to interrupt him? Nick, he know Nick telling the truth, man. He trying to cut him off. He doing everything in his power trying to derail his thinking process. But Nick was prepared. He do this for a living. Destiny just like talking shit on YouTube. Probably win a couple of debates with he know people don't know about what's really going on, and he win. But he actually debates somebody who probably his debate training partner is probably from somebody from China.
The truth about
Well, just
a very
explain
big
then. Why did we
business,
do the first Gulf War?
which is war.
Okay, let him give his examples,
Thank
and then
you.
can you please address the Gulf
Be
War
more
for him?
rambling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, give your examples because he's just giving examples of why the United States lies against certain
Because he
situations.
doesn't have the answer to the first question,
No,
so he's going to
he'll-
obfuscate with
no,
stuff
he's
later.
gonna answer the.
Okay.
Look at this.
It
Is
won't do it, but yeah, go
crazy.
for it. That's fine.
Look, he's getting nervous.
I know it is.
He's
our
getting
strategy,
nervous because he doesn't know anything about foreign policy, so he doesn't want to talk
So this is
about
what we'll
it.
do.
Look, yo, man, I see why they call Nick racist. He ain't racist towards nobody for real. He just speaking the truth about Israel, about what's really going on. He a conspiracy theorist, as Jewish people say. He's telling the truth. It's yeah, we got some questions like, why is we protecting y'all for it? Why are we sending money over to there for it? Like, yeah, why? That's all we want to know. Why? It ain't. We don't live in Israel.
Four Jews made the plan in '96 that got us to invade Iraq like 10 years later.
Nick, so please cover your examples of how the United States does this to do things, and then please cover his first Gulf War because that's what he's interested in.
100%.
All right.
So I'm making a bigger point about United States foreign policy, which is that we conduct regime change operations. We go to war all the time. There's always a pretext, whether it's the gassing of the Kurds or it's what happened in Kuwait. The same is true of Iraq with WMDs. The same is true of Libya. We deposed Gaddafi in Libya, they said, because, well, it's not like democratic enough. Does anybody really believe?
That's not even true.
Hey, whoa.
Gaddafi got killed because he wanted to start the first African national bank, had clean running water and electricity all over Africa. United States wanted a piece of it. He said, nope. They said, off with his head.
Does anybody really believe that we go to war with a NATO coalition and we depose Gaddafi because the elections weren't free and fair? And the same thing is true of Syria. Constantly trying to create. Whoa, why are you interrupting me all the time? Is it because you're not confident in your positions?
No, it's because every time you answer a question, you make up 50 bullshit.
He getting you destiny. It's a wrap, man. You already lost, bro. You already lost, Destiny, man. Damn, my legs feel heavy.
Everyone is acting like a nigger. Stop.
Yo, Destiny, just let him finish his examples, and then.
With that N word again.
And then please address the first Gulf War for him.
Yes,
so
exactly.
You're giving your examples of America getting involved in foreign policy.
Remember, every answer relies on 30 random talking points. Too.
It's not random talking points. It's about, because it's about your worldview. Your worldview is predicated, and I've seen your.
His worldview is predicated blue hair, my feelings, and all women are victims. That's his worldview. He don't know about no other countries, what's going on behind the scenes, because he don't get paid to talk about what's going on behind the scenes.
Your stream, I watch your stream. You always hand wave away all these
Still
Jews in the
War.
Defense Department. You hand wave away all the Jewish disproportionate stuff by saying that things are as they seem. There are people in the world, they act a certain way, but it can't be explained by a conspiracy. That's what I'm talking. That's why it matters to go through these examples, because you're going out there and saying, well, Israel benefits us because geostrategic. Well, what does that mean? Oh, I have no fucking idea. Well, we went to war in Kuwait because of the Kurds. Can you tell me why we went to war?
Hold on, Nick. Give your examples, then the first Gulf War, and then you can ask him a question after.
I already gave my examples.
Okay. What about the first Gulf War then?
Libya, Ukraine, all these different interventions. They're always a
None of these
pretext.
things ever remotely similar to each other.
If I laugh, it looks like I'm not losing. If I laugh, it looks like I don't.
Yeah. Now this is like a grimy 30. And debate and Destiny, bro, you weren't ready. You weren't ready for Nick. Nick basically came on here to tell everybody what's really going on. We can't let the black folks hear him. They gonna want to start asking questions too. Oh, well, say he racist. Nick Flinchy is racist. And people bite.
Well, let me name off 15 random facts that I'm going to say for money. See what they were talking about.
Real.
Guys,
Yeah, it's about Kurds.
Let's keep this civil. Okay, because he asked a question about the first Gulf War. Why did we go? Is that your question? Why did we go into war with the first Gulf War?
I'm just curious how Jews are concocting every single fucking thing. And then also keep in mind too,
everything.
The only evidence of any of the fact that like the Jews are behind this is because some people that are Jewish are involved in writing some of the plans.
Well, explain Kanye. Explain JP Morgan and Kanye. Let's go to the good stuff.
That is always going to be.
Let's go to Kanye.
In the totality of this conversation, the strongest evidence that Nick will ever offer for his position is some of the people involved are Jewish.
Okay, so let's hit the first Gulf War because he's asking why did we get involved in the first Gulf War?
We got involved in the first Gulf War for the same reason we got involved in the Iraq War. It's because the Jews had a problem with Saddam Hussein. The Zionists had a problem with Saddam Hussein. It's the same situation. And here's why I bring up the letter to Bill Clinton, 98. It's because, once again, we can take the explanation that we were given by the news media that Israel our closest ally because they help us. Went to war in Iraq because WMDs, I don't know, we were fooled. We went to war in the Gulf War because of the Kurds. What I'm trying to say is that was already the policy. They were agitating for war for a long time. The neocons were agitating for war for a long time.
Can you tell me, how did we make Saddam Hussein invade Kuwait and then use gas weapons against the Kurdish people?
We didn't make them do that. That's the pretext.
How
That's
are we
the
agitating
excuse.
for it?
That's the excuse.
Yeah, can you tell me how we were agitating for it?
No. I'm not saying
Oh,
they
I know you
agitated for that.
Okay, okay.
What
are we agitating for?
I'm sorry, what are you saying?
I'm trying to figure out how the Jews made us go. I'm trying to figure out, how did the Jews make Saddam
You are
Hussein?
trying to figure it out.
I am. I'm asking you. Teach me.
Desperately trying to figure it out.
How did the Jews make
Right. He can't figure it out because his IQ ain't on. It ain't even about his IQ. It's he know the truth, and he know if he agree with Nick, not just only he lose his channel. Those who really paying for him gonna disown him too. He don't want to disappoint them. But he at least he gonna die on his sword. I could give him that. Like, look, I tried, y'all. At least I ain't go out like, yeah, he won. Destiny knew he was over with once he said, "Oh, I didn't know about this," and they like, "Yeah, of course you didn't know."
Saddam Hussein invade Kuwait and use
You're not
chemical
following,
weapons?
though. I'm not
that's what
saying-
I'm asking you.
you're
Tell
not
me
following.
simply.
Yeah, no. but
Without
you're
talking
playing
about
dumb. You're playing
Benghazi,
dumb.
without
You're playing
talking about
dumb because you're
China,
disingenuous.
without talking about Ukraine.
Without talking about other examples of American foreign policy to
It's
establish
always
a concrete
obfuscation and
worldview.
dialogue trees.
And
That's
it's
the
always
only thing that it
derailing.
is.
It's always derailing. And
Destiny, he was only talking about Israel. He wasn't talking about China and all this and all that. America and Israel and Iran and Iraq. And Saddam. That was it. Look, he's scratching his head like, damn. What the hell did I get myself into? I thought I was going to be able to defeat him. Nope. He ain't no walk in the park. Because he get called racist. Y'all people better wake up, bruh. Because you hear other white people call other white people racist because they telling the truth. Somehow they stupid and weak.
sophistry from you
I
because you have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Ask your question, and then he'll answer it.
How did the Jews make us invade in the first Gulf War?
But see, that's a totally incorrect. It's so funny.
You're so
It's so
triggered.
funny.
I see.
Y'all just see that? You see a man, Destiny. No, he ain't got nothing else. And look at the face of Nick. He can't even. You can see the shame on him. Like, damn. I want to fake like I won one, so I'm gonna try to lie to Kiki. He know he got fouled out. He couldn't hold it down. Nick did.
See the trigger in you.
I'm not triggered, but that's
You're
just what
very
you
triggered.
do. When you
It
lose
is.
a
It's very
debate,
funny to me
when
that
you lose a debate,
this is like
you
your
do this,
specialty, area of
hang on,
interest.
you do
I
this
don't know fucking
contemptuous,
half the shit you're talking about, and
It's
you
just
don't
like
have
the
an answer
weasel
for
words.
me.
It's just like the
Because
weasel
you
words
rely
at
on
the
somebody
beginning.
having no understanding of anything you're
It's just
talking
like the
about,
weasel
and you
words
just
at
say
the
random
beginning.
fucking shit to win the argument.
It's so weird.
ahead.
It's so crazy.
Okay. The question
Here's-
is, how did say it one more time? What was it?
He brings up
No,
like
no, it's a
5 different
false premise.
conflicts.
It's a false
Destiny, please
premise.
ask the
It's a
question.
false
Charles,
premise. Here was the question is. He
so
said,
that we don't derail,
he
guys.
said, how did the Jews make
make a-
Saddam Hussein do these things?
Yes,
I
there you
never
go.
said the Jews made Saddam Hussein do those things. Were you listening?
Oh, so Saddam Hussein chose to invade Kuwait
Uh-huh.
and gas the Kurdish people.
I don't know that he gassed the Kurdish people, by the way.
Oh,
I don't know
we
if I
just
believe
don't
Wasn't
think
it
that.
that
6
happened?
million?
Let's say they did, though. As I said before, that's the pretext, Destiny. Countries do bad things all the time.
Were there other countries
Well,
that were
let me
using
ask you
chemical
this.
weapons on
Were
their
there-
own citizens in the Middle East that we had no interest in? Wasn't that one of the reasons why we went after Gaddafi, was claims of torturing people, locking them up in prisons,
No, we said.
Why is it that
the
we went
reason
to
why
invade? Why
it
is
was
it that we went
following
to
invade?
invade? Why
Tell
is it that
me,
we
tell
went to
me.
when we went to depose Gaddafi? Why is it that even China abstained from voting against U.S. involvement in that? Because they knew that Gaddafi was a fucked up person, and they knew that that country was being ran in
please,
fucked
yeah.
up ways.
China's not ran by fucked up people, and there's no other fucked up
I'm just
countries in
saying,
the world.
China
Let
had
me
the
ask you
ability
this,
to enter,
Destiny.
and everybody
Let
say,
me
don't
ask you
do it.
this.
There's
Let me
a
ask you
reason why
this.
they abstained.
Let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
So we went into Libya, we went into Iraq because it's fucked up guys doing fucked up stuff.
We changed from the first Gulf War.
Are there
Note
any
that.
leaders? Are there any leaders doing fucked up stuff in Africa and Latin America?
I think that generally the United States
Yes or
has...
no? Yes or no?
Yeah, they're probably... Yeah, of course. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure there's
so
like 6
why?
ongoing
So
genocides.
where are the ground wars in Africa and Latin
No
America?
geostrategic interest, and I don't know if there
Okay,
are... I don't know if
then
there's
back to the original
democracies
point.
there. I don't know if there's...
Good point, Nick. We don't hear United States say that. Oh, we helping out Africa because we protecting them. We helping out Brazil because we protecting them. Yeah, right. He got a good point.
There democracies
Back to the
that we
original
feel like are
point.
worth
What was the
supporting.
geostrategic interest in toppling Saddam Hussein in 2003?
That entire area, because of its location near Russia, I believe, is of interest to the United
Because
States.
of it, so we invaded Iraq because of its location
I didn't
near
say we
Russia.
invaded. I didn't say we invaded Iraq.
See, this is why.
Oh, I'm not gonna. You want me to answer the question?
This is why
you
he
want
has
to
to
want me to
Let him
answer.
answer, Nick, please.
Oh, now there's no interruptions.
No,
Okay,
let him answer.
Yeah, let's hear
And
it
then
about
Destiny.
Russia.
Answer,
The reason
and then-
why
and
we
then you can
Go
invaded-
rebut it.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's
The
go.
reason why
hear
we
it.
invaded
Let him
Iraq.
rebut, and then you can answer.
The reason why we invaded Iraq is because Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait with shitty pretext and used chemical warfare against the people of Kurdistan, the Kurds living in the north of Iraq. The reason why we have an interest in Iraq is because of the location on the globe. So if you want to tell me why we're interested in Iraq, I can tell you that. If you want to tell me why we invaded, I can tell you that. Those are the two separate answers to that. Where were the Jews involved?
Uh-oh. Well, wait.
Now
so
let him respond.
I want to follow on this a little bit. So you said, well, we invaded Iraq and Libya because even China realized that Gaddafi was a shitty guy. This is like Reddit talk. Gaddafi was a total
Where did the first Gulf
fucking
War go?
asshole.
No, that he moved
Gaddafi
again.
was a total freaking asshole. That's why we invaded. And I
Locked
said,
people up,
okay.
tortured
hang
them,
on. Whoa, interruptions. Can we get a check on that?
Oh,
Hit the Gaddafi thing, and
Okay.
then please answer his question about the Iraq.
So I said, well, what about all the shitty people in Africa? What about all the shitty people?
Nick know how to be an asshole when it's time to be. Y'all underestimating this dude. He know how to hold it down. He might be an outdud. I'm an outdud, but man.
People in Latin America, terrorist groups. And he said, well, so really it's not about their shitty people. It's because they're shitty people and it was geostrategically important. I said, what's a geostrategic benefit? It's near Russia. Really? So let me get this straight. If we invaded Iraq and the geostrategic benefit is that it was near Russia, which look at a fucking map, why wouldn't we just go into Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgia? Why wouldn't we go into Ukraine? Why wouldn't we accelerate Ukraine's membership in NATO? This is in 2003. Why would we make Ukraine a NATO member in 2003 when Putin had been in office for 3 years? Why invade Iraq if that was a
First of all-
geostrategic benefit?
Sure.
Let's hear
First of all, we've already drafted nations that are literally bordering Russia into NATO. That's what we did with the Baltics, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania.
yeah.
So we've already done that. In terms of reaching into countries that are more northern and eastern, or from Iraq, my guess is going to be because we don't have any connection or reasonable way to support those countries. We just don't have
what does that mean? We have no reasonable way to
As
support
in the
what country?
geographic locations of places like Turkey and Israel make them easier for long distance support.
He talk like he know what's going on, Destiny. When look, you can see it in his looking in his eyes, man. He know he don't believe the bullshit.
Rather than
Really?
places like Armenia, Azerbaijan.
So where's
Georgia,
Azerbaijan on a map? Do you know?
northeast of Iraq?
It's east of Turkey.
Yes.
So it's right there. It's right there with Armenia. It's right there with Turkey. It's right there with Georgia. Georgia and Turkey are allies. Why wouldn't we just go for Azerbaijan?
Georgia already had Russian troops in the country.
And we couldn't have gone in there and repelled that in
fought
2008?
Russian troops on the Russian border?
In
No, I don't think we would
2008?
do that.
That's what we're doing right now, dipshit. That's what we're doing right now. And it's 20 years.
Dipshit. Yo. Hey, man. You gotta stop listening to black people and other white people who called out white people saying they racist because they speaking facts and can back it up. This debate, if you ain't an intellectual type of person and you a feelings type of person, you lost in the damn sauce. You need to go ahead, go home, and just sit there and complain. 'Cause this is a whole different. This like a Nick, like thinking Dragon Ball terms. He like a great ape. That's a Super Saiyan 3. No, that's a Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan Blue. Great ape Super Saiyan God Blue. Right now. And he fighting blue dot Frieza.
Years later,
I'm sorry,
Russia's
we
down
don't
an arms
have,
buildup.
the United
You
States does not
dumbass.
have military troops in Ukraine.
Yes, they
Dumbass.
do. Wow,
No, they don't.
so naive.
No, they don't.
Yes, we do. They're
Then
called
why isn't Russia
contractors.
screaming it
They're
from the
called
rooftops? If we had
They
US
are.
troops,
They
notice how
are.
we pivoted
Okay.
away from the first World War.
Okay.
That
Again,
is
just to
incredible.
justify-
All right, 'cause we're going
Amazing naivete on display right here.
Okay, we because we're I see what's going on here. Basically, we're answering one question by bringing up examples, and those examples basically create a whole other conversation. So
well, no,
let's
they
try to-
shouldn't, but it's because he can't answer that.
Well,
The point is to bring up, if I can bring up
Just
10
keep
different
looking at your
conflicts
chat.
and say the
Just keep
Jews,
looking at
if
your
I
chat.
can bring up 10 different things and I say the Jews, and then I push on any one of those, and it's like,
To be fair,
yeah,